Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, brought to you by Hy-Vee, Lake of the Ozarks and Jefferson City. And as you know, every week we've got a new guest for you here on the Spotlight Show, somebody very important in the community. And this week we've got Reid Millard, who is the owner of Millard Family Chapels. Thank you, sir, for coming down and taking some time to talk with us.
You're welcome, Chris, and I look forward to being with you today.
Absolutely. So this is a topic. You own family chapels. You deal with death all the time, and it's not a topic. What is it? Death, taxes, and religion. You're not supposed to talk about, right?
Right.
But I think people are fascinated. They want to learn more about these things.
Well, and I think they should. They should know what's out there, and they should know what they should be doing at this point in their life, especially if they're getting to retirement age and getting things lined up. They should know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty important subject.
Absolutely.
Here. Okay, so now you're a very well-rounded guy. You race cars.
Yes.
You're a big Mizzou fan.
Absolutely.
Right? And then, of course, very successful business. So you have to stay pretty busy.
Yeah, I'm a 24-hour guy. So.
Okay, so you went to school to earn a degree in mortuary science.
Yes.
So this is not something you just fell into. This was the plan.
That's correct.
How were you called into this business?
Well, I grew up in a little town called Bryan, Ohio. It's right on the Ohio River. My grandparents had a flower shop directly across the street from the local funeral home. From the time I was little, probably 6, 7 years old, Grandma would make up an arrangement for a funeral, and when I was big enough, I'd start carrying them across the street to the funeral home.
Huh.
And that's kind of, then when I was a little older, I started helping wash cars and mow the grass, things like that.
Yeah, so you kind of were introduced into that, and then apparently it kind of tweaked your interest.
Right. I went on to a couple years at Wheeling Jesuit College, and or Jesuit University they call it now, but that's where I worked for a Catholic family-owned funeral home there in Wheeling, and then went on to Houston, Texas to go to, I call it Undertaker U, but Mortuary College. So.
Undertaker U.
There you go.
There you go. So you grew up in Eastern Ohio, as you said. How did you make your way to Missouri?
Well, I worked for a large corporation. Over the years, I think bought over 500 funeral homes for the different corporations, and I had originally acquired Hauser Funeral Service in Jefferson City for Service Corporation International, based out of Houston, and then I had a brother that passed away when I was 28. He was 27. And I thought, I really want to get back out and help people, not be at the top level of the corporation. I want to be back here where the rubber meets the road, and so I bought my first funeral home back in 1990.
Wow. You want to kind of be hands-on, not be...
That's correct.
Kind of 30,000 feet, of view. So you own the family chapels, Millard Family Chapels. You deal with death every day, right? Because that is the business that you're in. You deal with a lot of grief every day, I'm guessing, right?
Absolutely. Yes, we do. What I try to do, a lot of families say, well, how do you deal with that? What I try to do is you have to be able to compartmentalize. It's not that you lose touch with the people, but I have a lot of the people I take care of are close friends, and so if somebody's been in an accident or been in some other tragic situation within the family, or they die of a catastrophic illness, when they come in to sit down and we're making arrangements, I don't get focused on the death. I get focused on how I can help the family.
Yeah.
And then I compartmentalize that over there, and then focus on, hey, what's that person about? What's the family about? Try to be a good listener and figure out how I can help them, because what a funeral director does, whether it be myself or one of my colleagues, over the next 3 days, 4 days, or weeks, they can really help a family get back on to a road of healing, and that's what I try to do.
So you have learned how to kind of take your emotions, set them aside, and just kind of deal with the business of it for a while.
Yeah, and I don't really, I can, we got emotions too. We're not, we have families and we have loved ones that die, and a lot of times a friend could be a loved one, close friend, and so what I do is don't show my emotions in front of them, just stay focused. But hey, I'm going around the corner crying too a lot of times, because you see some of the most horrific things. We had a little boy that the babysitter had taken his life and put him in a suitcase, and you see that stuff and you just try to emotionally handle that. But some things can get to you. But then if you focus on how you can help a family, then that's the main thing.
Yeah, it is that is the opportunity to help others hurting to get through it.
Absolutely.
And you also mentioned just before we went on the air here that deaths are up, like suicide deaths are up, self-medication deaths are up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the pandemic and people passing away from the illnesses. Sometimes it's not really the illness of the COVID, but maybe because the hospital's been on lockdown and they had chronic illness and weren't getting taken care of. Mm-hmm. So that came into play. But what's really because of isolation and so forth, we may have seen maybe one suicide a month or so, but sometimes we could see 6 in a week, which is self-medicated or other type, and that concerns me, which I think this is going to have long-term effects on our society after this past 18 months.
Yeah, I bet. So we talk about the heaviness of it, the grief of it, and dealing with that, and trying to help other people through that. But you need help through that too. So you tried to, I was kind of reading up on you, you kind of tried to find some outlets for that, like car racing.
Yeah, my
right?
biggest outlet is I race both the Lucas Oil Series Dirt Late Model and the World of Outlaws. So we start out maybe in Florida in the early speed week, during the week up to Daytona 500. We're on the dirt track, and then we end up in November down at Charlotte for the championship race. But they all tell me I should keep my daytime job. But I have a good time. Every once in a while I'll set a fast time or get into a big race. But I don't do it like the other guys professionally. It's my outlet, and I always have fun. It's kind of like the worst day of fishing is great.
Right.
For me, I mean, if I hit the wall, it's still a great day. It's not that great, but it's still, I'm having fun. So.
Oh, man, and he's being a little modest because he is pretty good. And we'll talk about some of the people he has beaten on the track and some scary moments on the track, too, when we come back. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more with Reid Millard here on the Community Spotlight Show right after this.
There's nothing like summer at Lake of the Ozarks, and Hy-Vee and Osage Beach is your one-stop shop for your day on the boat and fun in the sun. We feature the lake's largest wine and spirits department, along with our lake-famous beer cave. And you'll want to check out our brand new Summer Fun Center with all your apparel, toys, coolers, inflatables, towables, and so much more. Hy-Vee and Osage Beach, voted the #1 grocery store in Missouri and your one-stop shop for an unforgettable day in the sun all summer long.
It's our most protective wash yet. Introducing the Quick Car Ceramic Wash. It's an industrial-grade polymer solution with ceramic nanotechnology, resulting in high-end, advanced scientific protection of your vehicle's finish. The Quick Car Ceramic Wash. Try it on its own or with the monthly Unlimited Wash Club today. Quick Car. Quick, easy, and professional every time. In Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, presented to you by Hy-Vee, Lake of the Ozarks and Jefferson City. So we're talking with Reid Millard, the owner of Millard Family Chapels. And first segment, we talked a lot about the heaviness of your job, of dealing with death all the time, and your outlet for trying to, have an outlet for that, and racing is big for you. I think I read you actually have beaten like Carl Edwards on the track.
I came in front of Carl. We're up at Donaldson, Iowa, and we were racing. I think it was NASCAR night, and he and Kenny Schrader were up there. And I actually I had a good car and won the heat, and then we were in the main race, feature race, and I think I came in car 2 ahead of Carl and car 2 behind Kenny Schrader, and they said, "What's up with your driving, Reid, in your car?" I said, "I didn't have any brakes." So anyway, we had a good night that night.
That'll force you to go fast.
That does, yeah.
Wow, that is pretty spooky though. I mean, I've had the opportunity to be in a NASCAR, and they put a governor at it at 150 miles an hour, but that's pretty darn fast.
That is fast. Yes.
So I mean, that's life and death speed we're talking about.
It can be, yeah. I've been upside down and had a few broken backs and.
A few broken backs.
And it's like life fight it out, but I never really, I just get right back in and go. That's how you have to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you said it almost like it was nothing, but you actually have been involved in at least one. Has there been more than one crash?
I've had two where I broken my back in two different parts, one up and one down, and so get life flighted, and that was interesting because I was laying up at St. Luke's and I'm all tied down, but I could get my phone. They cut my suit off and I had my phone in there, and it kept ringing and ringing, so I kind of wiggled my way down, all strapped down. I couldn't look this way or that way. I finally got the phone. I said, "Hello?" They said, "This is Reid Millard?" I said, "Yeah, this is Reid." "Well, I thought you were dead." I said, "Oh, this is Reid." So, rumors spout, they follow quick. What happens when something like that happens.
The reports of your demise were greatly
exaggerated.
Exactly.
That's correct, yeah.
Another one of your outlets is sports. You're a big Mizzou fan,
Absolutely,
I guess, right?
Yeah. We Columbia, we have some locations there, but not because we have locations there. We love Mizzou sports, and Columbia over the next 20 years, it says to grow about 38%, which is huge. It's kind of like the lake down here and what's going on here at the lake. And so we enjoy Mizzou sports. There's a lot of people that have gone to Mizzou. Now they're at retirement age or moving back. Coach Drinkwitz, great guy. We had a fundraiser not too long ago up at Randolph County Speedway to raise funds for a tow truck driver that lost his life out on the freeway, but he was our weekend tow truck driver, so I wanted to do something for his family. And Drinkwitz came up and gave the cheer, the Mizzou cheer, the M-I-Z-Z-O-U, and got the crowd wound up. And then Conzo Martin, another great guy. He's a very Christian man, very, very excellent guy, and every once in a while I get to go to 3-Story Coffee there in Columbia and have a little coffee with him, and we just talk about how we can help these young kids do better in life, and it's important that they get an education, not necessarily a 4-year degree. We went down and I showed him State Tech down at Lynn, and he was just really impressed. I said, not everybody's a bookworm, not everybody's a class person. A lot of these kids want to work on a diesel truck or computers or something. Yep. So there's a lot of opportunities, and both Drinkwitz and Conzo Martin, they both want the kids to do well.
Right. Yeah. So what do you like more, football or basketball?
I like them both in different ways. The basketball, like it's like you're more with people because it's a closer kind of venue, and then football, it's just a different experience because you have the tailgates and stuff. So that's a lot of fun. We're looking forward to go up to the Boston game. And I'd go up and do Italian funerals up there, so all the Italians are coming to throw a tailgate for us. So this is going to be fun.
Well, you get a little bit of everything
so
there, don't
awesome.
you?
Yeah.
All right. So, just have about a minute left. You deal with grief every day. Mm-hmm. Can you give folks advice, insights into how to handle grief from your experience?
Well, first of all, it's a very emotional time when you have to, have a sudden death. I think prearrangement is probably like one of the most meaningful things that you can do is make your arrangements ahead of time to let your family know what your wishes are. And they're able to pay for it and freeze the cost, but more than that, they're giving their family a peace of mind that things are done. So I think that. Now let's go to a sudden death where you don't have anything. Well, obviously there's a lot of things said in a sudden death that emotionally that you would not normally say. So it gets a lot of the tensions up between family members or friends and stuff. So you got to remember this, that a lot of things that are said during that time are not things that are normally said.
Right.
So I talk to the family. I feel that our staff, myself and our staff, are very good at helping families who have a lot of emotions going on at that time to help guide them and get them back all on the same pace to come up with a celebration of life services that best reflects their family and their person, and do it the way they want, so at the end of the day they can say, hey, this was a perfect service for our family.
Yeah, very important. It's a tough subject, but a very important subject. Reid, thank you so much for taking the time.
You bet, Chris. I enjoy it. Love Lake TV, love Lake of the Ozarks. We appreciate what Lake TV does to help promote and better the community in all the ways you guys do.
Well, thank you for coming by. God bless you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chris.